chances are, if you work with your hands, you don't work only in one specific arena. You end up doing a lot of different stuff. Maybe some woodworking, maybe some home repair, maybe some auto motorcycle repair, lots of different crafts, lots of different DIY. And so as a result of that, because you do a lot of different stuff, it's handy to have a tool that also does a lot of different stuff. And that's where this Dremel Ultra Saw comes in. With blade changes, what's cool about this is that we can cut many, many different items, from wood to metal to tile to masonry. And that's what gives it the versatility that people like me who work with their hands need, because of all the different stuff that we find ourselves involved in. It's got dust collection on it, so that's great, of course, to keep your environment clean, keep your lungs clean. And with the handle on here, great control over how we're making those cuts. I love the fact that it's battery operated, so that we're not married into an outlet someplace. We don't have to find an electrical supply in order to do the work. And again, if you're a DIYer, you know that you often end up in places where coming across power to plug into isn't always the easiest thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go through a series of cuts, do a blade change, and then go from item to item to item here so you can see how this baby works and what it does. The Ultra Saw's got a maximum thickness capacity of 3/4 of an inch. Now, when you're cutting anything, particularly looking at this piece of plywood, you can cut freehand like I am here, so I'm simply following the pencil line that I put on. Alternatively, you can add a fence to the Ultra Saw and use that as a guide to make sure that you're cutting parallel to an existing edge. Using the same blade that we used on wood, on that plywood, we can also cut PVC pipe. And in the case of a large diameter pipe like this, easiest way to do it is just to work your way around, keeping the pipe in a clamp or some other holding device so it doesn't spin away as you're trying to cut it. That same blade is also good for laminate flooring, and what a handy thing to be able to just use this saw so you can cut and go as you're laying the laminate flooring down, especially as you start to work that flooring around obstacles like pipes or corners around the floor. It's easy to pop the blade off the Ultra Saw, pop on the right one. So in this case, it's actually a diamond blade, and we'll use that for cutting tile, cutting first from the top face in order to get the preliminary cuts done, following my layout lines, and then flip it over in order to finish that last little bit of inside corner. Another blade change here to an aluminum oxide cutoff wheel, and with that we can easily plow through metal like this piece of 1x1 square tubing I've got. Notice on this cut that although the saw's got good onboard dust collection, I'm not using it for metal. You don't want to draw those hot sparks into your shop vacuum. Another blade change, this time to the flush cutting blade. Notice with this one, it's on the outside rather than being underneath the guard here. And what that's going to let me do is make a cut here that's very handy, very interesting. Here's the scenario. This is the wall in your house, which probably has drywall on it, not plywood. Your wall has baseboard on it. And you're making a transition in your flooring to a hardwood floor or a laminate floor. And in order to do that, you really want to be able to slip that new floor under the existing base mold without taking it all off. That's where the flush cut comes in, and here's how this works. Use your new flooring as a guide. That shim is going to tell us right where to cut. That little strip comes out. That lets our flooring slip under, and had that taped in place so that that wouldn't slip as we were going. Then, with a piece of quarter round, you're all set. So overall, you know, it's nice to have a tool that does as many different things as I do. And like I said, when I started, if you're working with your hands, you're probably working with your hands in a lot of different areas, a lot of different categories. So it's handy to have something that can keep up with you.